Welcome to the 2026 Spring Volunteer Parent Coach Q&A. Today's Q&A session is going to be a short presentation of about 7 or so slides with some important information about the upcoming season, what to expect on opening day, what to expect as a parent coach or a volunteer with us, and just the different ways that we support and opportunities and resources that we have for you all while you're out there. And also be able to, at the end, answer some questions that you all have about your specific program, sports, etc., as best as I can. Typically with these Q&As, if we have any very specific questions, we can chat offline about those. But I love when parents are able to ask questions as we go, but put those in the chat. So as we're going through the Q&A, if you do have questions that pop up or questions that you don't want to forget, you can throw them in the chat. Typically at the end, I will scroll through and answer all the questions and go from there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Lewis. I'm the athletic director here at I9 Sports, and I oversee our 4 territories in the DMV area. So we have been in Fairfax County for the last 12 years now, Loudoun for the last 6. We're brand new leadership in Howard and Montgomery County, Maryland, as of January, late January, that is. And then we also have a territory in Arlington and DC that we're just starting up and trying to get that off the ground to provide some awesome opportunities to the fine folks of Northwest DC and Arlington. So, we've been in this game for a while. I've been the athletic director here for 3 years now. And I'm really excited to walk you through the journey of what, coaching with us looks like and all the different options or all the different opportunities and resources that we do have and what to expect to make your journey, fun, easy, and, the most rewarding possible, right? So on today's call, we do have families and parents and volunteers from all across the DMV area, whether it's out in Loudoun, Fairfax, Maryland. So, some of the information or a lot of the information is more general to everybody rather than just very focused on one specific venue. So let's go ahead and jump in. The first thing I'm going to do is start with team introductions of my team here at the office and those that are providing that support to you, your families, the families in our program, the community that we're building. So this is the current I9 sports team. The picture up there on the right is with our most recent full-time intern from George Mason. We do a lot of internships with the local colleges in Virginia, JMU, ODU, Tech, George Mason obviously is our local one. We get a lot of students from there. So we just took that picture the other day from left to right. That's Chris, Todd, Myra, Rachel, who's our intern. I'm right there, second from the right, and then Brandon, our ops manager. So, Todd is our area director and owner. He's been the owner of the Fairfax territory for the last 12 years and has been growing this from there out into Loudoun. And as I mentioned recently, taking over in Maryland and starting up in DC and Arlington. My name's Lewis, as I mentioned, the athletic director. Brandon's our ops manager. He is the guy making sure that the schedules are all done, scores are updated, standings are online, roster builder and rosters are all in place. Every venue has all the equipment you guys need for practice and the things that we need to run our programs the best way possible. So that way you don't have to bring anything and the athletes don't have to bring anything. They just show up and play. And then Chris, who is new in this role, but not new to I9. If you've coached with us before, then you probably know Chris, or you've probably experienced him in the Fairfax and Loudoun area. He's our game day operations coordinator. You might have been familiar with Reese or Coach Peanut Butter as he went by. He formally resigned and switched careers middle of last week. So he is now moved to Maryland, actually, and is started a new career. And we wish him nothing but the best. But for those that have been impacted by him and been able to work with him, he pours his heart and soul into the program. And, maybe for the beginning part of this year, we're going to see him a little bit here and there on the weekend. So you might still see him on opening day this weekend in the Virginia territory if you're lucky enough and he's at your venue. And then last but not least, we've got 2 other individuals to introduce. They're kind of new to our team as of January. But Myra, who's our marketing coordinator, she handles all of our digital marketing, emails. If you've gotten any emails about upcoming programs, she's the one trying to educate everybody on what's out there, what we're doing, and how we're trying to provide more and more sport opportunities and programs and camps and clinics, etc. And then Liz, who handles our communication and coach communication even as well. You probably have coordinated and had a correspondence with her, whether that be via email or via text or phone call, as well as Chris, who does a lot of our coach recruitment as well. So, you might know Chris and Liz already by name through emails and stuff, but they are what makes up our awesome team here at I&I. We've grown a lot over the last year. It used to just be Todd, myself, and Brandon, and we've just kept growing and trying to make everything as amazing as possible for our awesome families, our awesome community. So that's our team. And with that, I want to go ahead and jump into the overview of the season, right? So we're going to walk ourselves through kind of the overview of the season, what it means to coach, what makes great coaches, and then jump into what to expect on opening day. So, and just a reminder for those that are on the call, if you do have questions as we go, you can type them in the chat. I will get to them at the end when we hit the Q&A part, or you can hold them to yourselves. We are also recording this. So, if you feel like you're missing something, maybe you got your kids at home and you're trying to focus on two things at once, we are recording this and we will send out this recording tomorrow as well. So first and foremost, overview of the season and some important weather-related information for our outdoor folks here. So it is a 6-week spring season. Doesn't matter whether you're in Virginia or Maryland, it is going to be a 6-week season. And your schedules are all posted on the portal on i9sports.com. Everybody has a schedule set and a time frame. Some venues have multiple time slots based on how many teams are in your program and how many teams we can facilitate at one given time slot. For example, if you are in a volleyball program and you have a gym that only can field 2 teams at a time, but there's 4 teams in the program, we're going to have 2 time slots. So just make sure you check that out. And as a coach, maybe communicate that to the team if there's ever a change in game time, etc. And so Fairfax and Loudoun County, we're kicking off our spring season this weekend, the 11th and the 12th, and we're planning for a 6-week season, which is going to end about the middle of May. May 16th, I think, is that weekend. That's the goal. That's the hope. For those that know, the DMV area, when it comes to weather and rain, unpredictable. Last spring was atrocious with rain, and hopefully this weekend or this season, knock on wood, we won't have too much of that in the forecast. But if we do, we have added some rain makeups and will add rain makeups with the counties and the vendors as needed, should we have any rain outs throughout the season. If we do have a rain makeup, it will not be on Memorial Day weekend. We will never end a season on a holiday as best as we can. So it would be that following weekend, which we have tried to communicate with those venues, the venues that we already have makeup dates booked into the schedule based on those permits, right? If you're in Howard and Montgomery County in Maryland, you guys are a week behind everything that we're doing in Virginia. So we just released schedules recently. We're still waiting to release rosters and get the final coaches and all that good stuff in place. Your season's going to start on the 18th and the 19th. Now, you might be thinking, well, that would end us on Memorial Day weekend potentially. It does not. We are skipping that weekend, and your closing day and final week of the season is slated for the last weekend in May. Should we have a rain makeup, etc., we will have that in June on the weekend of the 6th and 7th, I believe, is the first weekend in June for that. So just make sure to check your schedule on the portal. You will see your final game is marked as TBD or maybe not announced yet for like a set time, but that you have a game that day. Your time will fall within your time slot if it is the same time slot throughout the year. If you have a multi-time slot division, your final game will fall in one of those time slots. So you can assume that your final game will fall in the same time that you've been playing in during the season. And if, like I said, if it's a multi-time slot division, it'll be one or the other. We will release those the last week of the season. The reason we have to wait is because we go off standing. So until we have the final week schedule or final week scores out of week 5, which we won't record until the following Monday usually, that's when we'll release the matchups for the last game of the season. Weather policy, it's been like this for a while with us, but we do not cancel programs ahead of time unless a venue owner or the county or we receive a cancellation notice from the program vendors that we rent from. So we will be monitoring the weather, of course. We do a lot, and we spend a lot of time focused on rain patterns and how much rain has fallen and how much rain can a field take. And we go as far as if there's rain in the forecast or raining that weekend. I'm usually out there at 3-4 in the morning on a Saturday morning. My wife hates it because I got to get up early and wake up the fam and the little one. I got a 1-year-old at home, but I'm out the door at 3 in the morning to go drive around our counties and check fields, right? Get hands on the field, feel the dirt. And I'm not even just saying that to say that. That is actually a true thing. We get out there, we actually put our hands in the dirt to understand what the field can take from a rain standpoint, et cetera. Because for those that played last spring with us, you might remember we had 3 rainouts. It went from a 6-week season with a bye week that made it 7 weeks to 10 weeks, right? But some weeks we were able to play at some venues, some weeks we weren't, based on how much rain fell and different things like that. So we do our best to monitor field conditions, work with our vendors, et cetera, to make the best possible call. And we have a weather hotline in place to announce those cancellations and updates as needed. If we do cancel, we will update the weather hotline first and foremost, which is a new weather hotline at the bottom that I'll highlight in a second. We also now will be utilizing our Facebook pages to announce the weather update as well. And then we also send an operational email through our league platform and a text message through there as well. If you have not opted into texts on your account, I highly recommend you do so. And I highly recommend you encourage your team to do so as well and the other families within your program. That way you're able to get all the communication that we have about the program. Our cutoff to try to have an announcement done for weather is 7 a.m. We do that for multiple reasons. One, for families, also for our staff that are getting out to set up. However, on occasion, we might go till 7:05, 7:10. The information on the weather hotline is updated to the minute. So whatever it says on the weather hotline, that's not an accident. It's not, oh, it's 7:15. Did you guys forget to update the weather hotline? No, whatever you hear on the weather hotline is accurate information, because it's very easy for me to go on our app and update the weather hotline now. Our weather hotline number, you might recognize this number as well. It's also considered our coach's line and just kind of aligned to our office. But the weather hotline is 703-544-7881. And it's a new system we have. When you call, there's a menu option or a menu of options to click. One is going to be the weather hotline for Fairfax. 2 is the weather hotline for Loudoun. 3 is the weather hotline for our Maryland territory, Howard County, Montgomery County, Silver Spring. And then if you need to reach Chris or Liz or one of our I-9 sports staff, you can hit 0. That's how you get in touch with Chris and Liz, who can help walk you through any questions with, background checks, volunteer applications, coaching resources, game day app, all that good stuff. If you're going to miss a week, right, that's a good number to text us at or call. You can actually text that number as well. And we're able to answer that and handle that. So if you're going to be out a week, you're sick or something, you can reach us at that number. So that's kind of a quick, brief overview. We're super excited about this season. We're going to be in 19 venues, including actually 20 venues, including our Maryland venues this season. And we are pushing close to 3,000 athletes signed up across all 3 territories. So we're really excited about what we've got cooking over here. And I hope you all are too. First thing I like to touch on with the parent coach Q&A meetings is what makes a great coach, right? Whether you're a seasoned vet, brand new to coaching, or, we just need a coach for your team and you stepped up, your spouse is stepping up, and you're just trying to gain information. I'm going to go over, how we make it an easy experience for you to get out there, have fun, and really be a part of a community, right? That's what we're ultimately trying to do. We're trying to build a youth sports recreational community because that's what we're about. We're about helping kids succeed in life through sports, and we believe that that's the way youth sports should be. Is that it's a fun, energetic environment always. It's we keep score, and there are lessons to be learned in that. But at the end of the day, our main focus is the kids are having fun. It's a safe, organized environment. It's an edifying environment, and the kids are learning sportsmanship and how to be good teammates and how to work as a unit with their teammates that they're just meeting for the first time when they show up this weekend or next weekend on opening day. So, what makes a great coach? These are 3 areas that we as a team have come together to try to figure out, what we believe makes a great coach, and to educate volunteers on how easy it is to coach, right? So the number one thing and the number one focus point as a coach is maintaining a fun and positive environment, right? Leaders of all kinds, there's a lot of different leadership styles, but leaders of all kind want to have a positive impact on the kids. And I know you all do too, even if you're a little nervous about coaching, maybe for the first time, or maybe you're not nervous at all. You're just super confident, right? I know you're going to be focused on having a fun and positive environment for your kids. So bring the enthusiasm, encourage them through the drills, right? Encourage them as they're trying to learn how to kick a soccer ball for the first time or the 100th time, but they're still trying to get it down. High fives are our best friend. And always focus on those positive opportunities at the field, right? 50% of what you're doing is just simply that, high-fiving kids, encouraging kids, and just keeping it fun, right? There's the other 50% of following the program and sticking to the I-9 Sports experience, which I'll go into in detail in a second. But just remember why we're out there and why you guys are out there, right? Well, you want your kids to have this experience, and you all are helping us create this experience environment for the kids. Next, follow the program, right? One thing that I'll educate you all on and share with you, as I did yesterday in our What to Expect parent meeting, is, we've been around for a while. We've done a lot of amazing things, and we've held ourselves to a very high standard. And in recent seasons at certain venues, there's been times where we've missed the mark, right? And we're trying to get back to the I-9 Sports experience and the recipe, as we call it, or the program, right? Stick to the program. That's what we're kind of training up our staff. We've had multiple in-person trainings on how to run programs, how to work with the coaches during practices, how to lead the practices, how to make sure that we are executing what we are providing for our community, for our members, right? So we have our practice plans. Our staff are all educating themselves, training, learning, and getting ready for opening day by following those practice plans. And we want you to as well. You already have access to the Game Day app, which I will get to in a second in a few slides. The Game Day app is your ultimate resource. You can find all those resources on the I-9 Sports portal as well. But we have everything in your handheld phone that you can pull out on game day, whether it's Apple, Android, whatever, Google Play Store, Apple Store, the I-9 Sports Game Day app. It's a fantastic tool and resource. It has all your practice plans. It has videos. It has diagrams on how to set everything up. It has our rule books. It has everything you need to be successful out there as a coach. So make sure you're sticking to that. That's what we're having our staff stick to as they help out on opening day, as they're working with you guys throughout the season. And should they fill in for you, they're going to be picking up on those weeks that you're out doing the practice plans for week 4 or week 3, whatever week we're on, right? And then last but not least, just sticking to an equal playing time plan, right? I know it's difficult to kind of keep track of subs sometimes as a coach. I've coached a lot in my career thus far. I started coaching youth sports back in college as a sophomore when I started working at the YMCA. And I've been coaching a lot ever since. Little League, YMCA, with I-9, actually. I've coached several seasons. And sometimes it can be a lot. You're corralling a lot of different people, especially if you're with a program where you got 9, 10 kids, flag football especially. We have substitution sheets available at the venue. You can also print them off online. They do have those on the app, but we have them at the venue. They will be at the site table. You can ask any I-9 staff member for one of the substitution sheets out of the site binder, and they'd be happy to give you one for how many kids you have on your team that week. And that definitely will help you with substitutions if you need it. Last but not least, embody the I-9 Sports experience and what that means, right? We have a specific approach with the I-9, and I'm about to get into it on the next page, but make sure that you are embodying what it means to be a part of the I-9 Sports experience. Make sure you stay calm at all times out there in the field. If you do get overwhelmed, you need some help, you're out there and things aren't going the right way. I mean, our staff's going to be out there on the fields with you, but if you need our assistance, especially if you're a little nervous on day one, I mean, we'll be out there helping to run the drills. ask an I9 Sports staff member if you got questions, right? We've got a lot of them out there. We've got over 90 staff that are going to be working throughout our programs, right? In a given weekend, we have about 70 staff that are working at that given weekend on a Saturday. So, we've got a lot of staff, a lot of awesome individuals that are really pumped about working with you all. And so use them, right? They're there for a reason, right? And then last but not least, we do have a competitive organization at times with some of the flag football programs, some of the basketball programs, etc. But keep perspective while we're out there. Why are we here? Yes, winning is fun. It is. Losing isn't so fun. However, we want to keep perspective. We don't want to operate in the highs and the lows. We want to try to find the middle. Whether we're winning and having a blast and keeping everybody level-headed, or losing and trying to keep everybody level-headed of I know it's not going well for us, but we're trying to keep it fun. We're trying to keep everybody's perspective throughout the session, which can be difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, but just remember that's what we're trying to do while we're out there. And last thing I'll say on that is, one of the cool things about the I9 Sports Game Day app for those that are first-time coaches, check it out. There are actually videos and training courses on there. They're not too long, 5-10 minutes, some of them, on how to coach the different age groups, how to coach girls sports if you're coaching a girls division team, how to handle concussions and different things like that, any safety stuff. We do have those national certifications. It's all free. You can take them all, but they are normally you have to pay for courses like that we have we work with the United States Olympic Committee and also Nike to outfit these awesome national certification for coaching. So check them out. They do have some really cool, resources in there to deal with some of this stuff. Stay calm and keep perspective out there. So as I mentioned, the I9 Sports Experience, what is that, right? Maybe some of you have been with us before and you know what to expect when I say the I9 Sports Experience. Maybe some of you have seen it and haven't seen it recently. And then there's probably a lot of you who are brand new to I9, brand new to coaching, et cetera. But the I9 Sports Experience, we believe, is quality instruction that's fun for kids and convenient for busy families, right? It's a catchy tagline, but it's true. That's what we believe. And these are some of the key points that you are signing up to be a part of, right? You paid money to have your kid in a program that believes in these areas. And we don't just believe in it. We want you to see it out there on the field. So first and foremost, at I9, you should see your child having fun, right? Sports are meant to be fun. It's the main reason kids are out there doing it. They want to have fun, right? 70% of kids drop out of youth sports by the age of 13 simply for the fact that they are not having fun. We don't want that trend to continue, and we're trying to reverse that curve. And we've got 3,000 athletes that will be joining us this spring that are hopefully going to be having a blast every single weekend, regardless of what's going on, right? Inclusivity. No child is left out. No child is left to sit on the bench while the other kids just get all the playing time, right? We believe in an equal playing time system here. Everybody should be getting opportunities to get out there, play different positions, and do different things. And as coaches, you guys are the spearhead in that effort, right? We have the substitution sheets. We also have roster limitations for a specific reason, right? Maybe you've been waitlisted for a program before, or maybe you've tried to add a 9th kid to your team, but you play Super Pee Wee soccer, right? We have roster limits, so that way we never exceed a situation where kids are getting less than 50% of the playing time. The only time that ever happens is the rare occurrence that we do have a roster of a bunch of kids that are all in the same class or all from the same neighborhood. And, we get 11 kids signed up for a 10-kid program, and the coach is like, we want 11 kids. We're going to rotate them, all that stuff. That's the only instance that happens. We keep everything under a certain roster limit, so that way we can ensure kids get equal playing time. And that goes in practice as well. There's no better time for every kid to get a bunch of reps than during practice. And that's why on opening day and throughout the season, we encourage even just, parents that aren't coaching, right, to help out our coaches, to help out the staff on the field. If we can get 2 to 3 individuals on a field working with a team of 9 kids, that gives us a chance to have 3 groups of 3 getting way more reps and way more touches than 1 line of 9 kids, or 2 lines, 1 with 5, 1 with 4, right? That's the name of the game. We're trying to get reps. We're trying to get kids involved, right? Safety, paramount, right? You all, in order to be a volunteer, have to be background checked. Our staff, background check. We provide these resources. We train our staff did all of in-person training. We held 3 in-person trainings leading up to the spring. We held 2 virtual trainings where we go over safety and organization and what to expect and how I9 Sports is. And so we really spent a lot of time with that. The next 2 things are pretty standard and stuff that you should expect. Convenience and organization, right? We have our practices and games on the same day. We have a set schedule. We want you all to show up and have practice right before your game. So that way you can take care of everything all at once. Ideally all at the same venue and ideally at the venue you signed up for. But sometimes, unfortunately, that doesn't always work out. We end up having to, move a program to a different venue based on a facility permit that we weren't awarded by the county, or we didn't get enough registrations, or we couldn't do girls basketball. We had to do co-ed basketball for everybody instead. We try to be as convenient as possible, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. But the one thing you can rely on is that practice will come right before your game. And that commitment on the weekend that you're as a volunteer is for your child's team only, unless you want to do other teams. And organization, as I mentioned, we have our structured practice plans and rules, and our staff should be out there making sure that everything is organized. You have the equipment you need. The fields look the way they should. And everything is happening at the start of your practice. We're getting kicked off. The game is starting on time, and we're finishing on time, right? Because at the end of the day, your time is valuable. Your time is meaningful. And you're signing up for a specific program and product. Sportsmanship, we have a very strong emphasis on fair play, healthy competition, age-appropriate competition you might have seen as well. Sportsmanship is huge. We don't want to see taunting. We don't want to see crazy celebrations. We don't want parents and coaches screaming and yelling at the players, at the refs, at each other. I've seen it. It's ugly. We exist to not have that, right? Our staff are trained on de-escalation at the venues with parents, with players, with coaches. And de-escalation tactics on how to alleviate situations should they arise. Let's just work together as a unit, the coaches, the volunteers, etc., working to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? That we are being good sports about everything. We are showing good sportsmanship because each week has its own sportsmanship value. And I'll get into sportsmanship medals in a second as well. But sportsmanship's key. And last but not least, the equipment, right? You all are coaching. You don't need to bring anything. We've got bags of balls. We've got cones. We've got spot markers. We've got a field. We've got courts. We've got hoops. We've got everything you need for practice before you even get there. Everything that you need for your practice plan should be at the court before you ever show up. You shouldn't have to bring anything. If you want to, you're more than welcome to. And we're not going to stop a coach from running their own practice and having to follow the practice plans if they want to follow their own practice plan. So it's up to you. You make the experience what it is. In a multitude of ways, but we will provide you all the equipment. The one thing you can encourage is families to have their own practice ball to use at home. And if they do bring a practice ball and you notice that, just ask them, hey, did you guys write their name on the ball? Let's get their name written on the ball so we don't lose it, right? The last thing we want is for a child to lose their brand new soccer ball or a brand new basketball and hope that it made its way to storage or hope that it made its way back here to the office. I never like having to, have families lose out on equipment because it either, ends up getting taken or something like that at the venue. So make sure to remind your players of that when you see them and when you send out messages to the team. So that's the I9 Sports experience. Jumping ahead, I want to talk about opening day, right? I've covered some of the important things that go into, being a parent coach. What we're looking for and what you guys should be looking for out there. Now let's talk about what to expect on opening day. For those that are at opening day this weekend, this pertains directly to you in the next few days. Maryland, we still have a week and a half until opening day, so there's still some check marks happening. But either way, opening day, we envision happening the same way at each venue, right? One thing that we believe in is the Chick-fil-A model. Simply in the fact that whether you're in Virginia, Florida, Nevada, wherever you're at, right? The Chick-fil-A that you go to, you can expect very similar service. The food is very much the same. The fries are the same. The experience, even if it's a long drive-through line, you're getting through it quickly. 99% of the time, you're getting the exact same experience wherever you are, and our venues all should be the same as well. So when you're showing up on opening day, arrive a little early. I always recommend for the coaches, give yourself 5 minutes or more to get there, right? Find good parking, go to the I9 Sports table, get checked in, get your I9 Sports, I9 Sports, get checked in at the I9 Sports table For those that have never been to an I9 Sports program before, if you're at an outdoor venue, you're looking for a giant red canopy tent with a red I9 Sports table that'll be right there as well. If you're at an indoor venue, you are looking for an I9 Sports table with a red table skirt on it with a giant I9 Sports logo, similar to the one you see up in the top corner on here. That is the table you will check in at for opening day and every week after that. On opening day, you'll check in. You'll check your name off on the coach check-in sheet, and then you'll get a jersey bag. It's opening day. We're going to hand out jerseys. They'll give you a jersey bag, and they'll give you a new roster. Now, if you have done your research, you've downloaded the game day app, you'll have access to your roster right there on your phone. You can use that one on opening day. The one thing is that the roster they're going to hand you, the paper copy, does have shirt sizes and stuff on there. And so you can use that. I will say the jersey bags have already been packed, right? We've got 3,000 athletes playing. We've got to pack our jersey bags in advance. So we've got a whole office full of 50 jersey boxes here that will be going out to all the venues. So we've already packed the jerseys. However, we're still going to have some roster moves between now and the start of the season, okay? Especially if you're in Maryland. So please make sure to check your online portal just so you're up to date going into that day. Maybe that morning right before you get to the field, have the app on your phone. So that way you have the most up-to-date roster, because that will be the most up-to-date roster. Even the roster that we print off on Thursday before opening day might have one or two names that's not fully accurate, and our I9 staff will have a separate digital version of it on their own. So, that is to help guide you with handing out jerseys to try to get them out to the kids as quickly as possible. You'll also grab sportsmanship medals or stickers depending on what program you're in. As I mentioned, I will cover sportsmanship medals in depth here in a second, but for those that are handing out sportsmanship medals, which is typically for age groups of 5 years and up, Pee-wee or more or higher, you will get one medal on opening day to hand out for enthusiasm, which is our sportsmanship value of the day. Each week, you'll be handing out 1, 2, or 3 medals, depending on how many kids are on your team. If you have 10 kids on your team, it's a 6-week season. 4 of the weeks, you're going to have to hand out 2 medals, right? If you play in a soccer program and it's 77, or 88, and you got 13 or 14 kids on your team, some weeks you're going to have to hand out 3 medals, right? And so that's how that comes down. So stickers are for the Super Pee-wee division. If you do T-ball, that's 3 to 4 years old, soccer, 3 to 4 years old, you will actually get a roll of stickers. It'll be like 8 or 9 stickers, how many kids are on your team. And every child will get a sticker each week for exemplifying, that sportsmanship value of that day. Next, after you check in at the table and you get your jersey bag and get your roster and you've got everything that you need and you got your sportsmanship medal and you checked off on the check-in sheet, then you'll head to your practice area. Your practice area can be found a multitude of areas. The first is on your I9 Sports portal on your schedule. Second, if you've opted into texting, you'll get an automated text each week on, I think it's Friday, right before the Saturday program, and on Saturday for the Sunday program. That'll tell you, hey, coach, or, super excited to see you this weekend at Barron Cameron Park. Practice is at 10:45 on 1A, right, or 2C. That is your practice area. That's where you'll head on opening day or for that game that weekend, right? Make sure to check your schedule. I know a lot of families want to get ahead, and I said this yesterday. They want to get ahead on schedules. They look ahead of time. Always, always, always just double check your schedule before opening day just to make sure that you didn't misread the week, etc. Whatever you got to do just to make sure you're on top of it. And it doesn't hurt as a coach to send out a message as well each week, just quickly on like Friday. Hey, team, I'll see you this weekend. Don't forget practice starts at 10:30 on field 1A or 2B or wherever you're going to be meeting them, right? You'll head to the practice area, whether it's on the field or the court. You'll hold up your team sign that's in your bag. So if you're the Eagles for flag football, you'll hold that up out there with your red coach's shirt on, as you see with our coach in this picture. You'll introduce yourself to the team, start handing out jerseys. You might have a team parent, or you might find a team parent on game day. Does anybody want to help hand out jerseys? And then we'll start introducing the kids, handing out jerseys, getting names right before we jump into, warm-ups and that, right? If we have time, we'll do some icebreakers, and then we'll jump into the program at the start of the session. I already see some questions coming in the chat. That's fantastic. If you do have any questions, just put them in there. Even if I answer them, I will still highlight at the end. And if I did answer it already, I will just reiterate the answer or etc. So don't feel like you can't put the question in there. Even if I answer it, that's not a big deal. On opening day, our I9 Sports staff will be out there in their blue I9 Sports staff shirts. It says staff in giant letters across the back. They'll be out there to start the sessions, blow the whistle, get everybody hyped up to start the session, and help us kick off with a warm-up, and then help us kick off the first drill, right? On opening day, our staff loves to help out, making things as easy as possible for our coaches, for our families, and so you can expect to see that. Some of our programs, for example, like volleyball, are actually staff-led programs. And we still have coaches and they still do their own thing, but our staff will generally lead the session each week. But on opening day, you can always expect that. Same thing with basketball. Because it's a smaller environment, it's only 4 teams or 2 teams in a gym. It's a lot easier for our staff to lead the programs for our coaches, to lead the programs for our families. So you can expect to see that while you're out there. The fields is a little bit more difficult. Especially if we have 3 or 4 teams practicing in a giant area. And so it might be a little bit different, but you can still expect that whistle, our I9 Sports staff to be out there, our site manager at your venue, etc., kicking things off, introducing themselves, and making sure it's an awesome first week with you guys. So we'll be following along with the practice plans and kicking things off. Any diversions, our staff will notify you and let you guys know. After practice concludes, we'll begin the game. On week 1, we don't keep score officially. It's just a scrimmage, right? Our staff is going to be out there. One thing you'll notice is you have a staff member assigned to your field. So, for example, on one of our regular fields, so for the way our venues are set up, we'll have 3 fields side by side. But the fields will be broken up into half fields for the youngest age groups for soccer, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. We assign a staff member to each half field because they'll be reffing that game. So whatever game or field that our staff is going to be reffing at, they will work with those 2 teams for practice. So we do have a staff member to 2 teams. That is why we need volunteer coaches, because we don't have 4 staff members that are out there where 2 are coaching the teams and 1's reffing. We would need 15 staff per field, or not per field, sorry, per venue, just to make things run, right, in that one session. And that's not to mention we're going to be in these venues for 8 to 10 hours a day. Our staff gets there at 7:30. Most venues, our staff don't leave until 5 or 6 p.m., but we have a second group of staff that come in midway through the day. So, that's what we're doing out there. Our staff is out there trained and certified on practice plans and rules to make sure it's a great environment. So on week 1, you will see them keep score discreetly. That is for us internally to kind of monitor and see what scores are looking like on week 1. But we don't keep score officially. It's a scrimmage. It's for the kids to get out there, see game format a little bit. It's not a matter of getting every single ounce out of the game. It's a scrimmage setup for week 1. Every other week after that will be scored games, full time, all that stuff. Once the game ends, you will meet with your team, or our staff will help you guys meet with your team, and that's where we'll hand out our sportsmanship medal for the day, and cover that with the team of those that exemplified enthusiasm in week 1, and then whatever sportsmanship value it is for the weeks after. So, week 1, I highly recommend, if you have not done so already, get into the portal, get into your resources, and start looking at week 1's practice plans, and see what drills there are. If you have any questions on practice plans, if you have any questions on rules, please do not hesitate to reach out. I shared that number earlier, 703-544-7881. You have a question, shoot us a phone call or shoot us a text even. Hey, this is Coach so-and-so, or hey, this is Alex. I just wanted to touch base. I had a couple questions on the practice plans for week 1 or the roster or this, that, and the other. Can someone give me a call? Or call us and leave us a voicemail if we aren't able to answer. We will get back to you. As I mentioned, Liz is our communications admin. She's also our coach admin. And Chris is doing a lot of our program operations with the game day operations. So, those 2 are key figures in making sure you all have the information you need. So please use them. They're a resource for you. We make this as easy as possible. So that's kind of touching on what to expect. How's everybody feeling so far? Thumbs up if we're feeling pretty good. Thumbs down if we're feeling still a little antsy, still not sure. Hopefully I don't see too many thumbs down, but if I do, I totally get it. A lot of thumbs up from everybody who's on the call. Like I said, this is an informational, and I know I'm going over a lot, but these are integral meetings for us, integral touch points to really help educate on what we're looking to accomplish. So that way you can have fun on opening day, and not feel the first day of school jitters again, like I've had in the past where I've coached with other organizations where you show up on opening day, you have no idea what's going on, and you're never met the team before, no roster, no communication, etc. So next, I touched on the game day app. I'll touch on some frequently asked questions here as well. The i9 Sports game day app, it's an awesome tool. There's also game day notifications on there. So if you don't want to opt into texts, download the game day app, opt into notifications on there. We won't send you any notifications on there. It's just the system letting you know you have an upcoming game. Here's the practice plans, your sportsmanship value, etc. You can find your season info on there. It used to be an i9 Sports mobile coach app. They've changed it to the game day app. Now every family can use it. It has resources for everybody. If you are a coach and you're volunteering, you can access the practice plans on there. But if you're just a general family member, you can also access your team information, season information, etc. And we even have some cool activities to try at home. It's all in one convenient location that you can use. One sidebar to that, if there's any soccer families in here, and I didn't share it with the what to expect meeting yesterday, so I'll share it with you guys. I'll give you a little bit of insight into this. We're piloting a new feature this season. It's not for every sport. We're starting with soccer, so our soccer families are going to be able to get to experience it. What we're doing this season is we're going to be debuting a activity at home for the athletes, right? You know, it's really awesome that we're a convenient organization. You guys practice right before the game. You have your game. But we wanted to take it a step further and start to try to pilot a at-home activity. So this week, actually tomorrow, you'll receive an email for our soccer families with a week 0 at-home activity for your kid to do. It's a really brief. It's a 40-second YouTube short video on a quick agility drill. That's actually tomorrow's. It's an agility ladder drill. But don't worry, you don't have to have a ladder. We show you in the video that you can use even shoes for it. It's actually coached by one of our i9 Sports staff members who actually also intern here. She's a D1 and a semi-professional soccer player. And she'll actually be walking the kids through soccer drills each week of the season, leading up to a culmination at the end of the program. So we're piloting that this weekend or this season. I know if you're doing other sports, I'm sorry. We will be looking to expand that as soon as summer for all of our sports, right? The biggest thing with that is trying to connect with, really awesome individuals that are able to help us get all of that for baseball, for basketball, for flag football, for volleyball, etc. So you're still going to get the great i9 Sports support, i9 Sports support at the venue, but we're trying to figure out ways to, increase your, what you're getting here at i9 Sports. Quick, I want to go over the frequently asked questions. If you were on the call yesterday, you've already seen this. If you've been with us before, you've seen this. Anything that you're getting i9 Sports merchandise-wise, socks, shorts, shin guards, you ordered a basketball, you ordered a volleyball, whatever from i9 Sports, that all comes directly from the headquarters. We don't handle any of that. We only provide your jersey on game day, and if you're a baseball player or your child's a baseball player, we will provide your hat as well. Those are what we provide on game day. Anything else that you ordered when you registered, that stuff is shipped directly to you and can be handled accordingly through there. If you have any questions about an order that you did submit, or if you need to get a refund or you have a question, size doesn't fit, you can send us an email. We will just divert you to the customer service team at i9sports.com. It's customer service at i9sports.com. We're a volunteer program in a multitude of ways. Obviously, as you know, it's volunteer coach led. We have volunteer team parents now, but we also are a 501c3 as well, where we offer scholarships and grants to students in need. We partner with a lot of Title I schools. We actually have a partnership program with all local PTA and PTOs. We're very much a community-driven program here. We're focused on providing girls an opportunity to play in girls programs, girls-only leagues. Same thing with boys in volleyball and debuting a boys-only league in volleyball as well, right? We're all about trying to build a community here, both from a coaching standpoint, our volunteer coaches, which we strive to get 2 coaches to every team. Our staff's working hard to make that happen. But also in everything else that we're doing, the team parent role, etc., which I'll touch on in the next slide or 2 slides from now. yeah, so, we do a lot of amazing things here. We're always trying to get involved. So shameless plug, if you're a local business or you work with one or you're connected to a PTA, PTO, we're always trying to get connected with our community. And so, get us in touch with those people. We'd love to, make something happen from a partnership standpoint. I9 Sports Portal is your database for everything along with the game day app. You get your schedule, your practice game area, snack sign up, what color your jersey is going to be that week, what field you're at, what area you're playing in, practice, game, etc. So make sure to use your i9sports.com portal to get all that information. And then last but not least, I already talked about the sportsmanship medals, but the end of season awards. We'll get a lot of questions about that. We will have an email that goes out later this season about the end of season protocol. So week 4, week 5, we'll send out what to expect, when Coach Appreciation Day is, how closing day will go. But at the end of the season, we have an award ceremony. For the divisions that have trophies as well as medals, that's the 7 and up divisions. When they have 4 or more teams. If we're able to have a league format where we have 4 or more teams, we will have trophies. If it's only a 2-team division, we hand out medals, just like our other programs for the 3 to 6-year-olds. The reason we do medals for the 2-team division rather than awarding 1-team trophies and 1 team not is we try to keep the opportunity to balance teams as needed during a season, right? Oftentimes, there are 2-team programs. It's still an awesome environment. The kids still enjoy themselves and really have a good time. We ref it. We treat it like any other week. We keep score. We have standings, etc. It's just when it comes down to awarding an actual division winner, we'll just have kind of a winner of the final day. Because ultimately, at that point, we hope to have a balanced rosters by then, if we don't already. But we just don't want one team to get beat up throughout the season. So we might move kids from one roster to the other, or, just alternate and do joint practices at times. There's a lot of different variety to our 2-team programs, but our staff ultimately will still give them the same experience as any other group in our league. But that's kind of how we do participation medals for 3 to 6-year-olds. And then we do trophies and medals for the 7 and up age groups. If you do have questions still about awards, you will see an email later this season, but you can reach out with any additional questions as well as it pertains to closing day, awards, etc. So that kind of covers all the frequently asked questions. And these are not all of them, obviously, but these are just some that we see pretty frequently, and we want to try to provide those answers as much as possible in this setting. Next is our Sportsmanship Award winner signs. Not going to go over this too in depth. I already went over this with the parents. This is more for the parents, but you as coaches can help drive this. You're already awarding the sportsmanship medal. Go ahead and encourage them. Hey, man, don't forget to take pictures in front of the Sportsmanship Award winner signs up by the tent or by the field, right? We're going to have a lot of them all over. You're handing out the sportsmanship medals. We're trying to encourage families to get involved. Their parents might want you to take a picture with the kid who just got the medal, etc., right? We want to make this an awesome opportunity. And so you'll see these around the venues. If you haven't already, you should see them. But if you haven't, they'll be at a venue near you this season. And then our social medias are down there on the bottom right. We're asking everybody to tag us on social media when they post these videos and pictures of this awesome achievement. That's really fun. A lot of parents were really pumped about that yesterday on the What to Expect parent meeting. So, make sure you're being a part of this because ultimately you're choosing who wins the sportsmanship medal that week for enthusiasm, for teamwork, for determination, for inclusivity, for leadership, etc. So make sure to get involved with that. But it's an awesome opportunity. As you see in the top right, 2 kids that won the medal got to take a picture in front of it. The team parent, team helper role, maybe we have some volunteers that, some team moms or team dads out there that want to be a part of this. You as coaches can help get this for your team. It's always an awesome opportunity for our coaches to reach out as well and say, does anybody want to help, organize the snack sign up / the season checkpoints. We're trying to build team camaraderie and a community here. That's why we're so driven on, volunteer coaches and having individuals that are plugged in with the teams, as you see in the bottom left, that are able to, corral the kids, not just for practice in the game, but build that team camaraderie where we're learning kids' names. Kids are being called by their first name by week 2. And it feels like a team, right? Because oftentimes it's a lot of kids that are just coming together. Mom and dad are signing their kids up just to get them involved in youth sports. Maybe they're new to the area. Maybe they haven't played this sport before. This is their first time. And so we want a team environment. We're looking for team parents to help us out build that, right? A team party after, one of the weeks, coordinating with everybody. Hey guys, we're going to go to stop at Rita's. There's a Rita's right down the street. After this week's game or next week's game, we're going to head over there. We're going to get some Italian ices if you guys want to meet us there and do a little team party, right? We're currently working with local businesses to try to secure, maybe some incentives where teams can go and get a little discount if the team all gets a pizza together at a local pizza shop or ice cream. And we'll let you guys know if we are able to secure any of that. But, driving that type of train, encouraging parents to sign up for snack. If they're able to do so, that's awesome. Helping with jersey handouts on opening day, team parents, that's always really helpful because then the coach can start to meet the kids and start doing icebreakers while somebody else is handing out the jerseys. And then last but not least, driving the bus on Coach Appreciation Day. The final week of the season is a culmination of the season and a thank you to our coaches and our volunteers for being out there. And so what I always encourage recently, the last couple seasons is, you don't have to get a fancy gift for a coach, although, parents are welcome to get a nice little thank you, whether it's a snack or a water bottle, whatever it might be. But the thing that I really encourage our families to do is, if your child can take a few minutes to write a nice note, right, and just tell the coach and why they enjoyed being a part of their team, right? What was their highlight of the season? Those things always stuck with me. I actually have a bunch of those still from my coaching days in Little League and at the YMCA, of being able to work with some of the awesome athletes. And even as recently as 3 seasons ago when I was last coaching flag football in our programs here in Fairfax, a couple of the kids in our team that, they weren't our best players, but they had a blast being out there and they wrote some really nice things. And I still have them, with my sports stuff at home in my office. So, it's really an integral part of having a team parent help with that. So if you're interested in that, when you're listening to this recording, or maybe you're on this call and you already want to be a team parent, help us drive the bus there. But coaches, you can also do this as well. You can also drive the bus on some of this. I know that adds time and whatnot to what you're doing, but we appreciate the commitment and everything that you guys are doing for us. So that's a team parent, team helper role. And last but not least, we come to our questions page. First